Hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate you being here. So last video I was talking a lot about basically a reaction to Sagar and Crystal's, mostly Sagar's evaluation of the future of college and whatnot. It was a longer video than I was expecting, and I left out a pretty significant talking point that I really wanted to bring home. So in this video, I'm basically going to do a light recap of the last one and add in my additional thoughts in case you didn't stay all the way to the end of the previous one. So essentially, what they were talking about was a class war or a culture war being exacerbated by both not only gender and race and financial status, but now also a college status as well, and that will potentially make it worse. But personally, I don't fully agree with that. I think there are things that will change down the road as those things start becoming more and more present. So anyway, one of the big things that they talked about was how there is this big push for like apprenticeships and trade school and things of that nature, which I personally strongly am in support of. I think college is very overly emphasized, and it's really damaged the millennial generation. I got in a bunch of detail about that, so if you want to get all that info, then feel free to check back with that other video. But as for this one, I just want to replay one clip, comment on it, and give all of my thoughts all around. So without further ado, here we go.
Is that clearly something's going on. It's wrong, and we need to fix it. And as you said, part of the problem is, and naturally, look, I jumped to this too. You're like, okay, we need more like building trade school, or it doesn't work. This is actually the truth. In terms of the funding, I'm not talking about the schools themselves. Funding and the emphasis on that, it has not worked whatsoever, especially because largely it's still paired with a broken financial institutions, broken financial system in terms of lending, lack of uptick, lack of promise. You know, the states are all over the place because, again, education is local. It's very local in terms of what they fund, what they don't, what their tuition is, all sorts of these types of things. It all comes into play. I look at this, though, and as you said, it's going to change the whole country.
All right, so that thing he was saying at the end where it's all local, that is huge. So it's both a big part of the problem and a big part of the solution as well. So if you're not quite as familiar with the channel, and the real reason why I'm even doing this whole YouTube thing and really pushing for all of this is because I want to see 3 bills passed, the Titus Act, the Easy Peasy Plan, and the ACB, or the Anti-Corruption Bill, or AC Bill, or yeah, the AC Bill. Anyway, the first 2 bills that I want to pass would address this issue. So the first one is the Titus Act, which would basically decentralize the federal government, and all of the projects and funding that they would receive gets split up and redelegated to all 50 states, except for the military and interstate travel, and then funding the Anti-Corruption Bureau. So the schools would have a lot more flexibility to be able to push trade schools and apprenticeships and things of this nature. So they would have the ability to do it, and it would be specifically tailored for their specific counties or states or regions or whatever. So if you've got a lot of manufacturing facilities that need to build, car parts or solar panels or whatever, you can focus your trade schools to adapt to that need, that demand. If you need more engineering schools, if you need more construction building courses, you need more like apprenticeships or electricians or plumbers, things of that nature. You can bolster those things with a local economy, and instead of dumping a bunch of money into a federal fund and a bunch of that money gets eaten up in overhead to redelegate those funds, you have a much smaller overhead that's got to redelegate, so you're not going to have as much loss from redistribution. So, and you can focus specifically directly into certain areas. And if something's not working, you can very quickly adjust that and respond to that. So that's a big thing. I forgot to mention that in the previous video. And just to recap, my other point in the second video was in the Easy Peasy plan, the EZ is economic zone, which is based on federal taxes. The PZ is the production zone, basically where things are either produced, manufactured, or assembled. So if something is assembled outside of the United States or manufactured or produced, whatever, then it will have a significantly larger tariff put upon it to buy it stateside. 100% of the funds collected from those tariffs will go directly towards funding different or starting up different factories, or basically creating things that we don't produce stateside. Funds will go towards producing and manufacturing those goods here in the States. And that will create more jobs for people who have a creative mindset, like, I want to create something, I want to build something. So people who are more inclined to want to work in a factory or work in construction, something like that. So it would really apply directly towards those things. And as the younger generation, Gen Z, what was coming up in this particular video from 10 months ago is that there has been a significant drop in college attendance, 70% of which are men across the board, regardless of economic status or race. And that's in this video. They were particularly freaking out about that, but I think that's a hugely positive thing for the nation as a whole. And if it continues to trend that direction, I think this nation will be much better off for it. So anyway, that's pretty much what I got to say. Yeah. Oh, one last tidbit. I talked about the last video. I'll recap it again here. But with the Easy Peasy plan, with the production, with the building of manufacturing facilities and whatnot, and schools even, the demand for those jobs will increase, and these manufacturing facilities, these factories, will have to compete with one another, since there are more of them, for better working conditions, better pay, and the overall quality of these types of jobs and the employees' quality of life will increase and improve. There won't be this incredible need for unions, so you can just get exactly what should have been in place the whole time. So yeah, it's pretty much what I got to say on that. Forgot to mention the part about Titus Act and how that will dramatically impact one of their main talking points about why apprenticeships and trade schools tend to not work out. So they would be able to work out under the Titus Act. They not only work out, they would probably flourish and prosper. And then coupled with more Gen Zs not going to college, that would drive up demand for manufacturing jobs, which is a good thing, because with the Easy Peasy plan, those type of jobs will be more readily provided and have a stronger quality of life within them. So anyway, this is what I got to say about this. Appreciate your time, appreciate you being here, and till next time, stay classy. I'll see you then.